This might be a short one. Only one thing in the mail. There it is. It's another one of these. How many of these do I have? This will be my 5th, I think. Because you need 5 of these, don't you? You need 5. I think 5 is a good number. So it's kind of a boring nib. It's okay. It's sort of rounded. Yeah, I've been, trying to figure out what to do with my life, and being on YouTube is maybe not one of the things I do. And I do. Now, why does this look different? I don't think it is different, but it looks a little different. Sort of a broad nib. I have one of these that has a really excruciatingly fine nib. Let's see if I can take this out. Come on. Come out of here. Let's see if I can take it out without breaking it. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Yeah, you're coming out there now, aren't you? Anyway, it's called an Eversharp Envoy. Oh, why does this look different? That's why it's supposed to have a little outward flippity doodah, which this one does not have. But it's very strange because, I wonder if they made 2 different kinds. Who knows? What do you think? What are your thoughts? That one has one. That one has one. So I suppose they're all supposed to have one, except for the one I have, which doesn't have one. But it's longer. The section is longer. So why is that? What's up with that? Let's see if we can get this out. There we go. It's out. Anyway, what's neat about these pens is I just think they're really, really cool. So maybe what I'll do one I'm trying to fix. It's here. So maybe what I'll do is put this one in here. Does this fit? There. That one will go here. This will go in my, oh, that cap doesn't want to fit, does it? Huh, very interesting. Very strange. Subtle differences that make this one work. Just very odd. Anyway, put that over here. I'll fix this one. So what are your thoughts, Manic? What's on your mind? Hey, Will. Mr. Hodge. I am staying warm, more or less. My alarm will go off shortly and I have to put something in the oven, a bun in the oven. Okay, let me get my thing over here. It's a lot of goop, way more goop than I need. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Okay, I know. Stop. Thank you. Okay. Remind me to check the oven in few minutes to see if it's preheated enough. Come on. God, fuck's sake. There we go. This goes in here. Okay, why aren't we going in there? There we go. Ta-da. An envoy is born. It's called an Eversharp Envoy. It came after the Skyline and the Symphony pen. I think they're quite beautiful. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do I have here? I have one other one that's on my drawing desk. These are, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 that are working, and I have one that needs to have the lever replaced. So I think I probably could sell one of these, or maybe 2. I wanted 2. The one I have on my desk has a very, very fine Schaefer nib on it, which I really like. Because the pen seems to be so much about being sort of weightless, and it's really a light pen. Yeah, gold fill. Anyway, yes, this is one that I can decide I can sell one of these. I don't know which one. But I'll figure it out one of these days. So, Will, I get you asking me to be a friend on Facebook, but aren't we already friends, or have you been hacked and someone else is using your name? Do you have an answer for that? No, I mean, so that was really you asking me? I never know. because there are people that I am friends with that send me friend requests, and I just think, well, that's not real. But if you really did send me a friend request, I'll accept you. Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. But again, if you closed your account and reopened it or something, you might need to do that. But again, I don't know often whether it's you or a faux person. Okay, so this one goes in here. Goes in there. It's ready to go. This is Parker. I thought I was. I thought this was the Waterman. There's a new exhibit of female artists, women artists who are doing a show about sort of a politically minded show. So the opening was this weekend, but I was not able to attend it because I was in Philadelphia for the Penn show. I took a bus. I kind of prefer the bus because I'm above the ground and I get to see more. As much as I like seeing the back alleys and stuff, I do kind of like seeing the vista that you see from a car or from a bus when you're way up high over the top of the other cars. So I kind of prefer that. Okay, let me see if my thing is ready to go in. Okay. Yeah, Kesh seems to be doing very well. Very talented young man. Okay, I'll let this dry. This one, what's up with this one? So a lot of these pens I got at the Philadelphia Pen Show. And I'm gonna try to put them together and put sacks on them and make them ready to go. Maybe I will bring them to the California Pen Show when I go out there next month. And maybe I can sell some of these to artsy types. Hopefully. Why is this one feel like it's clogged? Is it clogged? Not really. Hello, Ms. Marilyn. So are you going to go to the California Pen Show in wherever the hell it is, near LA or what? Will I see you there? Why does this seem like it does not want to? hell. Uh, well, it is, California is big. I forgot how big it is. Forgot that it is so goddamn big. Come on, Nib. Why are you stuck in there? Oh, I see. Well, I'm staying with Cedar Bylard, so that's kind of nice. And we're staying with Craig Rocanova at the hotel one night together. We'll have 3 people in the room. Hopefully we'll all mind our manners. And then I think I'll see if I can stay with Otto in I mean, he said I can stay with him. Yeah, crosses over both interests, I guess. I've never had a Disney interest, I'm afraid. But I don't hold it against people if they don't. I don't think anything less of people if they have a Disney interest. Of course, because I'm a nice guy. And but I'm going to stay with Cedar for a couple of days in Ventura, and we'll hang out and do stuff. And I'm meeting another pen collector or interested pen person to do another who's interested in Frankenpen. So I'll meet him for dinner on Thursday. Try to teach him how to take him to Disneyland. Oh dear. I just imagine all sorts of people waiting in long lines and children making way too much noise. And then big people wearing costumes coming up to pester me. That's what I imagine it's like, but I imagine it might be fun for someone. Hello, Sport Away. Spin and puke. Yeah, that's a lot to ask when you can just puke all by yourself at the bar. Okay, so this goes in here at some point. Just see if I can loosen up the bits of sack that remain there. This is a nice simple number 4, no clip, just a plain, looks to be smooth barrel, nickel trim, smooth cap, no clip ever, just like give me the cheapest Waterman you can. And this is the one that they would sell you back in that, not quite the cheapest, but almost the cheapest. So put a sack on that puppy. The sack will fit. It does not have a boinga boinga nib. Shit, I cannot see. My black eye is getting better. It's almost back to normal. Except I do have I still sort of have a bump on my upper eyebrow. I guess my eyebrow is only above the eye. I'm certainly well endowed with these sacks. Really nice pen, this one. I think I'll keep it because it's so simple. Let me use some Simichrome on it to see if I can polish it up. Remember to never put your cap back on your your Simichrome, so that it dries out. It's an important part of Simichrome use. And I'm using my MyPillow cum rag here to shine it. someone was throwing these, they must have bought the MyPillow, but they didn't need the MyPillow carrying cases. Whatever Mike Lindell is trying to foist on the public. No, Craig is way more sophisticated than I am. I might have 2 pens that he doesn't have and might want. This is really quite nice. So Todd Merrill and I went to the show in Philly together, and we weren't competing with one another. We sort of were buying the same kinds of things, but he was buying them a little bit more carefully than I was. I was looking for some that maybe I could fix or parts I could use. I was looking at the bags full of pen parts. That's where this thing came from. And he was looking for completely working and refurbished pens. So, but we both ended up with very similar kinds of things. So tomorrow afternoon, he and I will do a pen swag show where we'll each take a pen that we got. I'll describe what it is briefly, and then he'll show one of his, and then I'll go back to mine, back and forth. So I asked him only to pick 10. This is going to be one of my 10. Why I bought this is because I have 2 others in different colors, and I knew that I had at least one in a different color. It turns out I sort of have 2. And they're made by Webster. I think these were probably made at the same time that the Skylines were made. So the other 2 I have are here. Different colors. I like the clip and the lever match. They have this sort of ridged pattern on it. They're very heavy, oddly enough. They're much heavier than you would think. This one needs a lever. Got this one. Schaefer Lifetime with a flexible nib. I don't know if I'll show this as one of my 10 tomorrow. I will show this one. And I will show this one. Why did this one not? Little tweeter. I got all sorts of cool stuff. Maybe nothing that. Got this one. Maybe nothing that will knock too many socks off of too many people, but got this one. I got about 5 of these gold metal pens, and This one is nice. It's the engraving is Golden Days. And this thing was glued to the top for some reason. Don't quite know why, but it's fine. I got a lot of nice pens, some of which I will keep and some of which I will sell. Some of them might be slight upgrades of similar pens I already have. So that'll be part of the fun, is figuring out which one I'm going to keep. It's always a trauma for me because they're like children. They're like twins in this case. Which twin do I secretly like better? The one that made me cry that time, or was it the one that gave me that really nice Father's Day gift, or what? Which one is going to get the... Which do I get to keep? Probably could have put a bigger sack on that pen, but whatever. I didn't. How is this? What kind of nib is this, Ms. Marilyn? Is this Boinga Boinga-y? Really? What is wrong with these pens? Are they all... Are these sacks just decaying faster than they're supposed to? I don't get it. Seems to me this is a new sack I put on this pen. This clip, it's kind of it's a Webster pen, and it sort of looks like a Skyline clip. There's a big blobby nib. So one of the people I'm also meeting in California is an artist named Trister, who is at the Tom of Finland Foundation as a resident artist. And for those of you that don't know, Tom of Finland is did homoerotic art and was quite famous. I think he's sort of the only one that was doing it for a while and getting it published and stuff. So evidently the foundation is able to pay money for artists to come out and stay with them. And so that's great. I get to see him. I hope. I'm going to be sending him a pen package. He bought 2 pens from me when he was in Minnesota. I met with him, and he left them in Finland. This artist is from Finland as well, as Tom of Finland is from Finland. I don't know if you have to be from Finland to be a fellow at the foundation. I'd like to think not, but maybe it helps. And and I'm going to send him 5 or 6 pens for each with different kinds of nibs. He uses them mainly to draw with, so they're gonna. But the ones he bought from me one was really fine, and the other one was really smooth. None of them were flexible. So I'm sort of curious to see what he would do with one that's flexible. So this pen here, even though it's not all that flexible, would be one that maybe an artist would like because you can sort of push it around. Has a little bit of flexibility to it. It's very smooth. People who are flexible. A little more pen. Does this have a sack that works? Seems to. Is this too itty bitty a pen for you, Ms. Marilyn? Sweet little nib. Yeah, yeah. Okay. See if I can. I'm not entirely positive that's the right pen to put a Waterman nib in, just because it has probably a steel nib in it now, and a Waterman nib may not fit it. This I should be able to find a Gold Bond nib to go into. is a steel nib in it now. Should be able to get a gold nib in that thing. Maybe. Does a Waterman fit in it? It's just that little green pen. It probably doesn't have an inner cap either, so it may not keep the pen dry. You know, it's sort of more of a novelty pen. You can fill it up to make your grocery list and then put it back in the desk. It's may not be a good place for a good nib. What's this doing here? Come on, why are you crooked? There, no, you're not crooked. Yeah, a shopping pen, yes, where you can only buy 1 or 2 drops worth of food there, Marilyn. Nothing that requires more than that. Does this unscrew or not? Where's my pliers? This is one tight puppy. That one. So here's here's a dip pen Franken pen I may bring to the guy in California that wants one of these. I may put it into this holder. I bought 2 Victorian dip nibs from someone in the local club, and this was one of them. Just haven't found the right barrel to fit it in without distorting the nib. It's a Victorian dip nib. I don't know who made it without getting my loop. The other one is here, I think. Did I put it in? No. There's another one I thought it was in here. Well, where did I put it? in here. Well, I have it somewhere. Maybe I have it on my drawing desk. Oh no, hate when that happens. Hate when they go boom. Well, I don't know where I put that. Where did I put that dip nib, that other dip nib? I have too many pens, Ms. Marilyn. I guess I must have put it on my... Fuck. Must have put it on my drawing desk. It's too flat. Well, see, that's the thing. You can't shove a square peg into a round hole. So you have to sort of do a careful balance and remember that it's there. And, you know, for me, it's something I only recommend for people that sit at their desk and dip. What are these doing in there? God, I've got too many pens. I have no idea. Why are those in that bin? Colonel Frisbee. I'm just going to put this back. Is this another one of these? Are these all the same? They're all the same, more or less. No, this is different. This has incised lines on it. These are straight. But I probably have another one like this. Are these two the same? Not exactly. One is a little bit taller. sort of alike. How many do I need, do you think? So would you like to join me live, Ms. Marilyn? You're eating, okay. Who else is watching me here? I wonder. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to do a demonstration. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, here's a swan. Did I buy this at the show? I forget if I bought this at the show or not. Oh, the world famous Per Gustafson test. Does Wasky Squirrel still do that? I haven't seen him in a long time. Live. I mean, I haven't watched his videos in a long time. I need to get a pretty swan. Needs a nib. It's right here. Christmassy colors. Needs a nib. The cap does screw on, so that's nice. I'm sure I have a maybe Todd nib I can put in here. There was a lot of people looking for flexible nibs at the pen show. And had I brought some to sell, I would have done a good job. I sold one. Cedar Bylard sent me some pens that he thought only a mother would love, and I ended up selling one of them to an artist. Shit. Fuck. God damn it. The sack nipple is broken on this one. I wonder if I have another section to fit that. Sweet little Conklin. Oh, there's a chip in the sack nipple, which I don't think I did, but I could have. I could have done it all by myself. It's always possible. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a sack in it anyway. The chip is on the lower half, so maybe it'll be airtight. We'll find out. You have 4 Conklins. And here's one right here. I bought 4 of them, 5, if you count this one. It's a this is a Leverfill Conklin. Put a nice big number 4 nib. You want to show me something? You ready? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me invite, copy. Paste. Send. It's very smooth. You can drive that around like there's no tomorrow. That's one I can.
Well, hello.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Well, hello. How are you?
Well, so far so good.
That's good. So, there's one thing that I wanted to show you.
Yep.
I've been looking at weird feeds lately, and I ran across this material. You probably
Yeah.
know it as silicone. I have a
Yeah.
question. Why can't we make feeds out of silicone?
Feeds? You mean
Yeah,
feeds or sacks?
feeds.
Why would you want to feed out of silicone?
So that way we don't break them when we pull them out.
I see. Well, I would think they're too. It's too flexible. You want
That's
you
the
want
point.
you want it to be. Well, you want it to
So
hold tight against the nib.
if we made a feed that was like this shaped, and you put like a sturdy nib on it, when it flexed, you see what I'm talking about? When it flexed, it could like push the ink up into the channel so you wouldn't
Oh,
rail. You
I
see what I'm
see.
saying?
I see. I see what you're tossing out at me. Yeah. Catch what you're tossing.
It's just an
Um,
idea.
well, I would.
Oh, here are my three conklin. What did I do with my fourth? Oh, my fourth conklin's here. So I got the rainbow one because, me and rainbows.
Okay. So you have the modern ones.
Yes, I have the modern ones. There's the modern one. And then I have two of these. One I bought on my birthday, and the other I won the day after my birthday, which was very upsetting because
Well,
I wanted it so bad and I didn't think I was gonna win, so I bought it, and then I found out that I won.
well, you can make earrings now.
Yeah, exactly. And then this one says Conklin Duraflex. Hope you can't see.
Yeah.
This one says Duraflex on it. I thought that was pretty cool.
So they're all the modern ones.
Yeah, these are modern ones. And I there's ink in this. Or it was. I put a flex nib in this one. This is a Fountain Pen Revolution flex nib. It came with this stupid flex nib that I threw in the trash.
Well, it's probably where it deserved.
Yep.
It deserves to go.
Yep.
If you threw it in the trash, Marilyn,
it's pretty bad.
Trash.
I mean, like I'm even down with the Noodlers nibs now. I mean, so it was pretty bad. The damn thing flexed once, and that was it.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about all modern fountain pens, that they say they're beautiful and blah 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 blah. Well, I want to see it in 5 years or in 10 years or in 50 years or 100 years, and let me see how well they're working. Because
this one.
this
is one of Nathan's pens. And I think it's beautiful. But I put a Fountain Pen Revolution Ultraflex nib in it. And it's what I use to do most of my calligraphy work. I mean, I think that it has a great delivery feed. Like the feed keeps up really well. I got the Christmas version from a pen friend for Christmas. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
And then I had to buy its counterpart.
Of course you did. I saw that gun against your head. I saw that you didn't have any choice there.
Totally had a gun up against my head. And then I had to buy a New Year's pen. Like it just,
Okay.
This was last year's New Year's pen, and I used it so much that I can tell that it's stained yellow. You see the two different colors in the section, made out of the same material. Yep, that's how it is. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad that you're you're finding happiness in buying so many pens. I certainly do as well. I mean,
I'm like, you have like a whole bucket of pens, and I only have like a tenth of the amounts of pens. I did have to buy a new one of these things though, because my old one's falling apart.
A new carrying case?
A new carrying case, yeah. So, yeah, some of the, most of these are, my Fountain Pen Revolution pens, those are flex nibs, real flex nibs. Then I have a Pilot Flex nib, which sucks, and another Pilot Flex nib that's like the stiffest flex. It's like a Noodler's Flex nib, probably stiffer than a Noodler's Flex nib. And then I have Gold Flex nibs. This is the shitty one that flexed once. I put it in my crap pen.
Well, that's a bad. If they flex once,
yeah,
that's not good.
No. And then this is a fpnibs.com 14 karat semi-flex nib. I love this thing. I use it every day when I teach. This is what I use because it is the gold standard, exactly.
Okay.
People should be the fpnibs.com. I also have one of their full flex nibs, but the full flex nib is like Boinga Boinga times 12. It is so flexible, like I'm afraid of it.
Well, I would be afraid of it too because
it's like wet noodle.
I like them to have a little bit of a feedback, as you know.
Yeah, exactly. You would like the semi-flex thing. I'll bring the semi-flex. What I do with my gold flex nib. I seem to have misplaced my gold nib. These are the problems that
Well, I was telling the earlier broadcast that in trying to find something, I found 3 pens that I had forgotten that I knew I had, but I couldn't find when I found them.
That's good.
They had slipped behind the drawers. So they, when I took out the bottom drawer of my cabinet, there they were all in a heap in the back.
Oh.
So
there's a Fountain Pen Revolution gold flex nib. So is there any of my pens that you would like to try so that I can bring them? I'm only going to bring one of these things. I figured you don't have enough.
We have time to think about that.
Not that much time because it's going to take me like 12 hours to get ready.
I don't know yet. I haven't made my airplane tickets yet.
Okay.
But my plan is to be in Ventura with Cedar.
So you're gonna fly into Ventura?
Okay. No, I'll fly into LA and then take a bus.
there's an airport right next to his house.
Oh.
Burbank, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he lives up near Burbank.
Well, I'll go to LAX, I guess.
Yeah.
And then take a bus or something into Ventura, and he'll pick me up there. And then he and I will drive into the show on Friday and spend Friday night. We're going to stay with Craig Rocanovas. And
I'll see Craig on Saturday.
And then we'll stay till Saturday and then drive back. So it seems like it'll be a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no, I won't drive back. I'll probably stay in LA with Otto Yang and stay a couple of days with him.
Okay.
I hope.
Cool.
And then fly back here. I think I may if I like this trip, I may plan to come out for the San Francisco show.
Oh, the San Francisco is going to be where it's at. I was thinking thoughts about just doing the San Francisco this year because I haven't been on a vacation in like 12 years, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I was actually thinking about foregoing Los Angeles and going to San Francisco because I'm told that it's off the hook. Their words, not mine.
Yeah.
And Los Angeles is fine, but I like to bring my buggy, and it's not really buggy friendly, so I get a lot of looks. But I kind of need it. One for balance, and two for to put my crap in because I'm not gonna spend the night. You know, I'm just going out and leaving and coming home.
Uh-huh.
And I leave the house at 3:00 in the morning, and I won't get home until 3:00 in the morning either. So it's gonna be a 24-hour event for me.
Uh-huh. Well, again, I haven't made definite plans yet, but I would love to spend more time, and if I'm able to have a little zippered case like yours that has 40 pens in it or so.
Yeah.
And they are pens that I can sell to artists.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Where I'm not sitting at a table, but I'll just say, find me the guy with wearing the fez.
Right.
He might have, because I was surprised, or not surprised, I guess. People are now labeling flexible nibs because they know everyone wants flexible nibs.
Yeah.
So along with labeling them, they're charging more for them, more than they would, 3 years ago. So they know that there's a call for those.
Yeah.
And if there's a call, then the price goes up.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what they're made out of, too. Because I know that Kevin from Fountain Pen Revolution came out last year, and he had an okay time, but, like, it wasn't happening then,
Uh-huh.
But this year, with all of the flex nibs coming out, like, everybody's, like, doing a flex nib. Yovo started doing a full flex nib. Conklin has started doing their flex nibs. I mean, fpnibs.com is doing a flex nib. This is...
Well, again, I don't mean to rain on their parade, but I'm always wondering whether a flex nib that is made today or tomorrow is going to hold up for 5 or 10 or 15 years.
Right.
And even with them being full flex, they're usually not as fine as I like them to be, because they start a little louder than I like.
No, I get it. Yeah, this one is a full flex, and like it drags on the feed before I can get to the full flex, and it railroads.
Well, see, all of that is bad.
Yeah.
None of that is good. None of what you're telling me is good. So, and they have to have all sorts of stuff going right to have a full flex. It has to have a feed that works. It has to be fine. I mean, full flex is extra fine to extra broad.
Yeah.
Not that many vintage pens do that. But when you start off, when the pen starts off sort of broad, I like that sometimes for writing, and I really like it for drawing.
Yeah.
But for people that want to do copperplate calligraphy, it's too broad.
Yeah.
It starts out too fat. Do you know Mr. M.G. Ward? Of course, you know
Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you met him in person?
No, I have not.
He was at the Penn Show in Philly, and he almost is always there. He mans the admission table.
Oh yeah.
And so he and I chatted for a while, and I gave him a Waterman accountant nib.
Oh.
And he wrote with it. You could barely see the writing. It was so
I know.
fine.
He has such fine writing.
And he loved that pen. And I said, well, look for accountant nibs, because that's what they were. And I found one for him, but it didn't write as nicely as the one that I wanted, that I had. Yeah. So
this one is the semi-flex from fpnibs.com. I had it reground to an extra fine.
Yeah.
And it is just super hairline thin. It's a little thicker now because I've flexed it to death, but without any pressure, it's super fine.
Wolf Kilt Witch says Conklin Semi-Flex is not flex or semi.
Yeah. Hi, Wolf Kate Witch. How are you? Yeah, Conklin, that stupid Omniflex, that's the worst fucking idea they ever had. Pardon my French. Worst idea they've ever had. It's terrible. Where the fuck did it go? I have too many pens. This is my problem. Too many pens. How you been? Yeah, this is the second version of the Omniflex, and it's pretty bad. But the first version of that pen, this is the first version. This was a Toledo nib. A Conklin Toledo nib, and it only flexed once, and that was it. And you can see the tipping material on this. I mean, it's like a broad nib.
Yeah.
Like, how much broader can you get?
Well.
And the chonk on the end of that one too.
So how do you know Wolf Kite Witch?
Wolf Kate Witch. Wolf Kate is a pen person who comes in Hemingway Jones and a couple of other people that I follow online. Yeah.
I'm trying to get Hemingway Jones to come, all of 5 miles or where the hell he lives to visit.
I know, he's like a hop, skip, and a frolic from you. You guys should be best friends.
Well, I would love to show him some of the older pens I have that have very excruciatingly fine or excruciatingly flexible or whatever kind of nibs that I think he hasn't really tried, and I think he'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
And I said to him, he said he with family and business and his YouTube channel, he doesn't really have time. Well, make time.
Yeah.
You can
go live every Tuesday. Make time.
No.
This is a Pilot Falcon because it looks like a falcon beak. Have you ever seen one of these? They're supposed to be a semi-flexible instrument, but it's not very flexible at all. It's like a noodler's pen.
Yeah. Yes, well, I remember your Conklin story.
What happened to your Conklin? Oh yeah, the Omniflex is terrible. It's the worst pen ever invented. And their new Gen Yovo Flex nib is slightly better. They moved the cutout. Instead of being way up here and the hole being here, instead of moving it, having it way back here, the cutout is way up here now. So it's almost in line with the breather hole, so it actually flexes a little bit. But just once.
Well, a pen that works just once is not a pen.
Yeah, no,
it's just a stick that costs a lot of money.
A very expensive stick. That's right.
Well, vintage is where it's at with me, and yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens with Hemingway when he's not on camera.
Yeah.
Is he a little more relaxed, or he's very precise?
Yes.
Which is
he
fine.
Seems very calculated. I'm a little more liberal.
Yeah, you don't have a script that you stick to, and I'm just sort of curious to see what he is like.
I got this for Christmas. This is a Kuretake brush pen. I never played with a real brush pen before. I had a cheap version of the brush pen, the $1 version.
Yeah.
But this thing is just slick.
Yeah, his name is Tim, and he does work in banking. So, we do want bankers to be somewhat exact.
Yeah.
I have some of your money. I don't know where it is. Put it somewhere. I don't know.
Donald Trump.
We want them to have some exactitude, but I just wonder whether in just conversation with him over coffee or without the camera, whether he's a little more casual, I guess.
One can hope. I mean, I don't put on a face. I'm just as silly as I am on screen as I am off screen.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being the way he is all the time. I'm just wondering whether he is that way all the time or not.
Yeah, that's always the wonder about when you see people in real life, they always seem to act different.
Yeah.
I try not to do that. I mean, I'm probably a little more sweary in real life, but
yeah.
I'm always running into things and going, damn it.
Yeah.
Especially at the pen show, because I'm always bumping into shit. I'm a little fatter than people assume that I
am. When I first started doing YouTube videos that were unscripted, but they weren't live,
Yeah.
Someone would say, "Here, I waited 25 minutes for you to say 'God damn it' the first time," because normally I say it much earlier in my.
Yep. Got to keep with the theme. I love this fpnibs.com extra fine. It's thinner than a normal paper's lines, almost by 3/4. I bought one of those. What you call it? Oh, what's this thing called? Oh God! I bought one of these calibration slide. I bought a calibration slide.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
So it's so that you can see. It's so that you can measure up to hundredths of a millimeter.
Oh, I see.
Thousandths of a millimeter. I'm sorry. And I gotta take my chair down. I gotta break out my 60 loop.
So you've turned into a size queen, huh?
You know it too well. You know me too well. Where's the dot? Oh, there it is. Can't even see it. It's too small.
What are you trying to measure?
The thinnest part of this line.
Oh.
It's 1/15 of a millimeter. 1/15 of a millimeter. Now, oh, where the fuck is my thing? It's upside down. No. Calibration slide. There it is.
I heard you speaking French just now.
Sorry.
You're so bilingual.
I do. I like speaking bilingual. Tunga were. There, calibration slide. That's easier to see. There we go. So you can measure things 1/10 of a millimeter, 1/15 of a millimeter, 1/700th of a millimeter, but it's not quite a 1/7 of a 100th of a millimeter. It's about 0.1 big.
Hi.
Don't mind the bald spot. Yeah, no, it's bigger than 100th of a millimeter. Yeah, it's about 1/10 of a millimeter. Slightly smaller than 1/15 of a millimeter.
Okay. That was a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I need to get a microscope.
Some of those that
As soon as I pay off my credit card bill, boy, let me tell you, I went insane over Christmas. I bought people all kinds of gifts for Christmas. Like $1,500 worth of Christmas presents.
That was very sweet.
I got paid back in spades, so I won.
You won. Okay.
How was your Christmas? What did you do?
I stayed home.
Oh, had Christmas. How's Tina?
Tina's fine.
Oh.
No, I had some neighbors that invited me to their place for Christmas Day.
Oh, that's nice.
Christmas Eve, I was here.
I went to this magical place called Long Beach, and they have this island. It's called Naples. Have you ever been to Naples?
No.
So it's kind of like Italy. It's like Little Italy, our Little Italy, and everybody on the block has. Everybody on the island, it's like an island, and there's like a walkway around the middle part on both sides, and there's streets that go over, and there's gondola rides, and everybody wall to wall, except for like bah humbug people, are like decked out to the nines, full on with Christmas decorations. Like, you wouldn't have you been to my new website, MissMarilynDarling.com?
I have not been there, but I will look.
Oh man, it's just, I put all the photos that I took for Christmas up there. It's insane. Like, I'm just gonna show you just one of them. That's just one of the houses.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I mean,
well,
they're all like decked to the nines. Every single one of them.
Can one buy stock in that power company that services that?
I don't know. One can only hope. All I know is that it was a real treasure to go there because I had no plans for Christmas, and my friend was like, let's go do this thing. And I'm like, okay. Because the year before we went, I tried to take her to Christmas Tree Lane. Have you ever heard about Christmas Tree Lane?
No.
So there's this street down in Long Beach, and all of the houses down the street have full on like Christmas going on, like wall to wall, porch to ceiling, the whole 9 yards. And then there's an island down the middle, and there's like a train that people can ride, and there's all kinds of like blow up statues, and carnival rides going on. Like, it's just absolutely insane. We went there last year, and it was absolutely dead. Barely any lights on. I was really bummed out about it. And I was like, well, let's do it this year. It'll probably be better. And she's like, no, I don't think so. I was like, okay, well, what are we going to do? She's like, well, we could go to Naples, because we went to Naples for Halloween, and that was insane. It was so crazy because, like, they have this 9 o'clock rule, and, like, everybody turns off all of their lights at 9 o'clock. It was so creepy. It was like a blackout was happening.
Well, that sounds
terrifying. It was.
But a little bit, yes.
But at the same time, it was like, all right, well, at least these people are obeying the rules, I understand. No man's an island. Is that for measuring line with? Yes. The calibration tool is meant to measure objects on a microscope. So on a micrological level. They're made for making sure that digital microscopes know how big a thing is. That way that they can program their machines, be like, okay, this one is 1/10 of a millimeter. This one is 5/100 of a millimeter. And so forth and so on. So,
is Tina making noise?
I don't know. Is she there?
She's talking with Matt.
Oh, hi, Matt. How's Matt doing?
He's doing fine, I guess.
That's good.
Until the cat bites him. Then we'll see what happens.
I shouldn't have put this ink in this pen, but I did it anyway because I want to. Ah! It almost got me, and it almost got me again. Damn it, I don't have any toilet paper near me. Oh, can we do an interview while you're there?
Sure.
While you're in Los Angeles, just a short one.
Sure.
I got 6 questions I want to ask people.
Do you want to ask me now so I can prepare, or?
Hold on, I need to find my folder. Oh God. Oh, the legs go. Where'd I go with my folder? Oh, it's on the floor. No wonder. I just got a new shelving unit, so I don't know where anything is. Okay. Nope, that's not the one.
Wrong questionnaire, huh?
Wrong one. Yep. Well, one of them is what's your favorite pen?
Okay, well that's tough.
Yes, exactly. What's your favorite pen? What's your favorite ink?
Waterman Black, I know that one.
What's your favorite nib?
Well, almost always it's a Waterman #2 something.
Okay, I've lost my questions. I have no idea where they are. Fuck it. Whatever. I know that one of them was, where did you learn calligraphy from? Did you learn online? Did you?
I became a calligraphile, meaning I love lettering.
Yeah.
Because of my parents. My mother did calligraphy for the church, and my father has interesting handwriting.
Oh.
So I sort of learned the love of lettering from them. I've never taken a class or anything. So there's that.
What's your favorite type of lettering? What's your favorite?
Probably standard loosey-goosey cursive.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not smart enough to know the difference between copperplate and round hand or something. I don't get into that distinction. Right. I know there is one, but I don't pay attention to that so much. So how are those answers?
Perfect. What's your favorite paper?
Vintage ledger book paper.
Yes, as I say, could you do me a favor and bring me like a sheet?
Yeah.
I would love to do a review of that paper because.
Well, I mean, all ledger books they're all, 1890 to 1910 or so, or sometimes earlier.
Right.
And it's not like you can go buy some of that anymore.
Well, there's some papers that aren't produced anymore that I review.
Okay.
And most of them I just review it in case somebody runs across them.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you never know. I mean, people do all kinds of weird shopping for paper. I went to a bazaar. I don't know if you've ever been to a bazaar before, but that thing was weird. It was like going into a black hole, and I couldn't find the exit. And about 3/4 of the way through, I had to go to the bathroom, and I had no idea where I was or how to get out. And I just had to keep going down the path. And I thought, it's never going to end. I'm going to plot myself right in the corner. That's how it's going to happen. And so.
I think that's a little tiny bit TMI there.
Really. And so then, I finally found a window that I could see the outside. And I was on the back side of the building. And I thought, oh no, this is the end. I can feel it. Take me to the window. No, so then I realized where I was in space, and so I asked the lady about a bathroom, and thank God that there was one 5 feet away. But that thing was scary. And then she led me to the front, and I asked them about fountain pens, and she took me right up. They had all the fountain pens in the very front when I could have just asked for them in the beginning. So if you ever go to a bazaar, just so you know. Ask
for fountain pens before I get too
lost.
Before I have to pee.
Yes, exactly. So Note to self, always ask question. You never know when you're going to find the answer because there was everything in that store, Pierre. You would not even believe. It looked like miniature, like the size of your couch. So there was like these couch-sized rooms, and they were just wall to ceiling full of stuff from like everyone's house. It was just the craziest thing. Like some of them were like ranch style like rooms, and some of them were like futuristic. They had one of those glass things, and you put a black light on them and they luminesce.
Yeah.
What did they call it? Oh God. Oh, it was a uranium glass. That's what it was. It was like the uranium glass. And like they had an entire room of this stuff. And I was like, whoa. And so like if you ever go to a bazaar, they're very interesting, but you gotta have a game plan. You have to go to the bathroom first. I'm just saying.
Okay.
They should have a sign. Go to the bathroom before you start. It's like going to Disneyland. You don't know where the bathrooms are at first.
Well, it's nice to have this helpful.
Same thing in Los Angeles too.
Helpful tip.
You better ask for where the bathrooms are because you never know when you're going to need the bathroom. Nobody will let you have one out there. So, pens, ink, paper, nib. What about? Oh, where? Worm. Let's see. What's another question? There was 6 of them. I know that. Oh, what's your favorite style?
Style of what?
Calligraphy.
Oh.
Style, hand.
I like looking at people's handwriting, their natural handwriting, whatever it is, rather than a studied alphabet. I just find handwriting really, really fascinating.
That's cool. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have.
Well, now you don't have to ask me those. You got them.
Exactly. Okay.
So we can just spend time in the bathroom there, Marilyn. We don't have to.
Oh my gosh. Come on. Be nice, cupcake. Okay, there we go. There's my everyday handwriting.
Yeah. Well, it works well. I can read it.
It's very cursive-like. It's not the best cursive, but it's not the worst.
You would not be able to read my everyday handwriting, so.
But I don't know. I was a teacher at one point. I can read pretty much anybody's handwriting.
Well, when you're a teacher and you're reading someone's answers, you know what the answer is supposed to be. You know the words are supposed to be writing, so you can that probably helps. But if you just had a random sampling of what they might have written, you might not be so lucky.
I don't know. I can read some weird things. A friend of mine showed me a little bit about how to read Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Oh dear.
And so I did a little online tour of the of those big pillars.
Obelisks.
Yeah, the obelisks, right? And so I was recognizing some of the patterns, and I was like, oh, this one was made, this time, and they're talking about animals and how they move, and they're like, how do you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. How do you not know this? I'm like, why are you even here if you don't know what it means? I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, if you're gonna go to a country, you gotta know at least a little bit about how things work. I mean, what if you get kidnapped? That'd be the end.
Yes. What if you get kidnapped and put to work building another pyramid with someone whipping you, and you'll whip out your papyrus,
and
make little animals, and soon you'll be set free. Well, this nib is almost impossible to read. See?
So I wanted to tell you that I'm ever so grateful to you.
Why?
Because I was looking at one of the videos that you made a long time ago, and it said something like, sometimes you have to break the rules and do whatever looks good.
Yeah.
And I kept doing these things. I kept teaching the ways that I was taught and how to teach.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I hate the way this looks. This is the stupidest looking letter on the face of the planet. I hate it. And so then I just changed it. It's because I don't know if you've ever seen my M's, but I used to be like this. And then I saw an M that Michael Ward did, and now I can't stop doing it. And it's so much fun. What do you think about
that? Very nice.
It looks like a blob, but it's so much fun.
It's swashbuckly.
See?
Very nice.
Yeah. I thought, you know what? I need to do the same thing because I was teaching, the G's. So you gotta do it a certain way. And I was like, you know what? This is boring. And then I just went batshit crazy. Same thing with the D. I don't like the D either. D is so.
Yes, I can sell you a pen, Will.
I want a pen. Oh, no, the Skyline. No, I'm good. I could probably sell you a pen. If I could find it. If I can find it. Aha, I found you. There they are. These are my prized possessions. So, I don't know. Do you happen to know anything about the Waterman history?
Well, I might know something.
Because these are all advertised as Waterman 12, but every single one of them is different. This one is a screw cap, and it has a cap, and it says POC 12 POC on the bottom.
Yeah.
This one has a cap, and and it's friction fit,
Yeah.
and it says 12 on the bottom, and it has that
But the POC has a lever, right?
no.
Does it have a screw cap?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a screw cap eye drop filler. So that's what
Yes.
POC means.
Right. The pocket eye drop
That's
filler.
that's the difference there.
Do you know anything about how to make these darker?
Someone will. There's a Craig Rockanova does it. So ask him.
I will. That's one thing I need to ask him. I'm gonna write that down. Where's my pen? I need a real one. Okay. Okay, so the other one is it's another 12, but it doesn't have a clip. Where'd it go?
It doesn't need a clip to be a 12.
It doesn't need a clip to be a 12.
Nope.
Where did it go? I had 3. Someone is yelling at me in the comments. I can just see it. It's right there. And because it doesn't have a clip on the cap, it probably rolled on the floor and then disappeared in the world.
Did I do the job right? Or did you put it in the wrong thing? Or do it in the wrong way?
Oh my god. Oh, there it is. I fell in my crevice.
Too much information.
It fell in my shirt. So this one doesn't have a cap. I mean, this one doesn't have a clip, but it has that same chased hard rubber.
Yeah.
And it says 12 on the bottom. So they made 3 different variations of the 12 or more.
Probably made many more than that, but
really?
Well, yeah, they may have. I honestly don't. I mean, are you count? They also made 12 and a halves.
Right, the small one.
And they made
12 and a half V, which is the smaller one than that.
Well, the 52 and a half V. Did they make a 12 and a half V? I don't know.
I think they did.
If they made that.
I think Craig has a 12 and a half V. It's like this big.
Yeah.
Like the smallest pen I've ever seen. And it doesn't even hold a drop of ink.
Well,
it's like a Barbie pen. Mm-hmm. A Barbie calligraphy pen. But anyway, so I'm looking for a number 2 size Waterman nib.
Well, a number 2 size Waterman nib is probably one of the most common nibs you'd find anywhere at a pen show. So, but I can bring some if you want.
Yes, please. I'm gonna try them out because I have these are fine. They're fine, but they're not as flexible as I would like, or they're not as stiff as I would like, or I either want them stiff and broad or fine and flexible. You know what I'm saying? Boinga Boinga is perfect because it's fine and flexible. But we're never going to find another one of these. There's just no way. I mean, after you see the noodle, you're going to be like, whoa, this one's too boing egg. I call it noodle because it's like a wet noodle.
Okay, why is this not working?
What is that?
It's a Waterman Stately Taperite.
Ooh, that's pretty.
But it needs a new sack.
Hi, Friedrich. Friedrich, how are you doing? Thank you for the yellow pen. Did you see what Friedrich got me for Christmas?
No.
Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
Friedrich got me a yellow pen. Isn't that nice?
It is nice.
He gave me
Friedrich,
a yellow pen, and I put a Noodler's Flex nib in it.
Friedrich, I saw a gray pen at the Philly Pen Show I almost bought for you, but I wasn't sure.
You see I'm the gray now?
Well, he likes gray.
Oh. I thought he was the yellow pen guy.
Well, he's a yellow pen guy as well.
All right then. For the longest time, I could not find a yellow pen, and then I found the Noodler's Conrad that I wanted, which was this one. They didn't have it for the longest time, so I bought it as soon as it came into stock. And like 3 of the stores emailed me, "Oh, by the way, we got one in stock. Oh, by the way, we got one in stock." I'm like, well, if y'all would have had one back then. So the first reply got the first money. That's how it went. That's how it works. And anyway, I'm looking for the blue version of this. I told you to get it, Pierre Gustafson, and you didn't get it for me.
I didn't.
No.
You know, a pen that you do need, Ms. Marilyn, is one of these. The Waterman with the fishnet stocking.
Oh, that's very fancy looking. Oh, and the weird clip.
The little tiny diminutive clip.
It's got one of those. Oh God, how did he put it? Grandmia pens had one of those. He called it.
It was a Friedrich. It was a gray Leverfill Swan pen with, I think, gold fill trim.
See, and I have this. I have this one
from the 40s era. Fuck.
I have this blue pen, but I want the translucent version, like this. So
I don't understand it. Tina.
Tina,
what do you want?
What are you doing, Tina? And if he ever makes a purple one, I want a purple one. I just like his pens. I don't know why.
And whose pens are these?
Nathan Tardif, the Conrad.
Nathan, the crazy person.
Yeah. He's great. He's just, he has his thing. We all have our thing. He's just a little more extravagant, a little more educated than all of ours. That's all.
Tina.
This one has a really pretty ink in it. It's got shimmer in it. I love his pens because you can put shimmer inks in it. And I can't put shimmer inks in my other pens because they will clog up and die. And I can put flex nibs in it, and they just take it. Oh, what did you see, Pierre?
Well, I found a blue skyline. So put a nib in that for you.
Yeah, I told Lisa Vanessa that I would come and buy some ink from her because it seems that every time I want to buy some Private Reserve Velvet Black that they don't have it in stock. I don't know why. But only when I have pennies. Like, everybody buys the things when I have pennies, and then they don't have it. And then I don't have any pennies, and they come back into stock. Like, come on. Get it together, people.
Well, send them the pennies first. Say, these are my pennies for your ink.
I wish, but they don't work like that.
They don't?
No, bastards. Take my money. Give me the freaking thing whenever you have it. Just let me have some. I'm too little. I can't afford to.
Does solid blue work for you, Will? Except does the cap want to stay on? Do I have to find a different cap for it? How about that gold fill cap?
Ew.
Why does this swim on this one? I don't get it.
See, that's what
I'll try to find something for you.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what they need to do, because that silicone stuff is so easy to make. You can make you can make a cast mold out of that stuff, out of those spoon feeds, and make like 1,000 of them, like super easy. Well, maybe not super easy, but you know.
I'm just not sure they're going to work the way you think they're going to work. But
because the old Waterman spoon feeds, they come like, let's see, to the nib, come up, and then the spoon feed comes like this into the grip section, and the spoon feed comes right up behind the breather hole, which makes it for ideal capillary action. If we could just make a spoon feed that comes right up behind that feed, just big enough and then have a little tiny groove that went down underneath it to like push up. And then it would be perfect. In my brain. If anybody that deals with silicon or how to make molds, send them my way. You got
an idea.
I got an idea. I got a concept. In my brain, and I think it could work.
Well,
a mold for a silicone flavored feed. So I have the spoon, and this is what gave me the idea. And looking at my Waterman feeds, because the Waterman feeds have the spoon action going on, right? But the hole comes up just right underneath where the feed hole is. And if we made this feed part out of silicone, we could make it so that it has like an upturn like this, so that it would when the tines are flexed, it would still carry the ink to the end between the tines. See, because when it's pressed down, it'd be flat. But when the tines flex, it would like pop up in between to give it more juice. And then when it would come back, it would press down again. Because it's silicone, it would be a smooth action. And it's small enough that it wouldn't be that like...
Well, I see it working on your spoon, but your spoon is like 15,000 times bigger.
Right.
Than,
Plus,
I mean, if you were to take a scissors and cut a little tiny 1/8 inch wide thing out of that mold, I think you would find that it doesn't bounce back as much as you are thinking it will.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It would have to be thin enough that it would be flexible, because silicone is like permanently in that position, and like the way that the flex nibs are made are pretty stiff, so that they come back together. I don't know. The concept is there, but
well,
I don't have like. I've seen how they make jewelry molds out of wax.
Yeah, the lost wax system.
The LOX wax system. Yes, I was thinking thoughts about doing that, but I don't know how you would do that with silicone. Does that make sense, Friedrich?
Well,
am I insane?
I hear what you're saying. I just don't. I think
I've seen other pens that have the little part in the middle. The vintage too, like an Aurora or a Almas or a Jelani. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I saw that and I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. I even saw this guy make one out of an eraser, but I'm like, no, I don't think that would.
No.
That's a different type of rubber. It's not going to work. Yeah, but ebonite's hard. I want it flexible.
Well, I think the idea of having a ink delivery system on the top of the pen would be better, top of the nib,
right.
like a Swan overfeed.
Right.
And I think Nathan even did something where he put a piece of just cellophane tape,
yeah,
which delivered some ink down to the top of the pen, and that was flexible and held ink in its capillariness.
Yeah.
So I think the nib, the ink that's feeding the slit doesn't need to be from the bottom. It can be from the top. So it's just, you just need to have extra ink ready. But anyway.
My brain just exploded right then. Whoa, wait a minute. Say that again. So you mean like, oh, my brain. Okay. So you mean the nib would come out like
there's things called overfeeds. Swan made them where a little piece of gold, if I knew where my Swan pens were, I could find one for you. It was a flat, it was a slightly V-shaped or U-shaped piece of metal that rested on the top of the nib. Nearly to a little bit past the breather hole. And there was a flat part that would fit in the section above the nib.
Like the Pilot Justice.
So what you would get would be just extra ink held by capillary action on the top of the nib. And you also had ink feeding from the bottom. So, and Wirt did that as well, yes. I just don't know which Swan I have that had it, and I don't have time to look through every single one of them. But I'll draw you a picture of it, Marilyn. Let's see.
Like this.
So the nib is here.
See, like this.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. That's a Pilot.
And except the Swan one was very thin and not very tall. But that thing would do it as well. If you had if you just don't want anything getting in the way of the nib flexing.
That's what I'm saying with mine, because you need to have a little slit down the middle. At least it cups all the way to the end of almost to where the normal feed would cut off. You can have like 3 different varying sizes, kind of like the Waterman feed does. It has like the full, and then it like tapers down a little bit, and then right at the end it like swoops right up at the end. You're kind of off camera a little bit.
Anyway, I'm turning into a pumpkin here, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
It
was nice to see you.
Nice
seeing you. Hope to see
you
you in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'll certainly talk to you before then too. So see you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.